The most hated men in America aren't criminals. They are warriors who lead their family, protect their communities, and fight with their strength for what's right. Let's get into it. My name is Casey. I'm the Rumble Right Dad. I've been a therapist for more than 13 years, and I have seen that men have become soft, and my clients actually have suffered. Not only the men, but also the women in their lives have suffered because of the lack of strength. And it's not just physical strength, but also the strength to endure hard things. Weak men create hard times. We are in that cycle. And this channel is devoted to trying to make men hard again. Let's look into it.
And man, listen closely. You must be dangerous. A threat to every lie, every force that dares to rise against the truth of Christ. Look around. Over 2 billion claim the name of Christ. But how many of us are willing to stand when our faith is mocked, when truth is challenged, the churches are replaced, when the name of our Lord is dragged through the mud?
John Lovell is a former U.S. military who fights for the 2A rights of those that he engages with on YouTube, as well as making your household a hard target for anyone who might try to do you harm. And he thrives on being the most dangerous man in the room. And he says not only that, but you should hide out as being the most dangerous man in the room, which is a great idea if a threat ever really came into your environment.
Where are the men who will speak when the world spits in the face of our King? They desecrate what's holy. They mock the sacred. Should they not have a look at us and fear?
I've personally recommended his book, The Warrior Poet Way, to more of my clients and more men than probably any other book other than the Bible and possibly 12 Rules for Life. This work is one of the greatest ways to engage successfully with not just being strong and not just being a man who is masculine in all the ways that God has ordained us to be masculine, but also a man who is dangerous in ways that protect and watch over a society that needs dangerous men now. He also has a vast portion of the book which is committed to being gentle in the times and the relationships that it's most important to be gentle, like that with your wife or that with your children or future children. Those are the ways that you will get the maximum benefit out of your time with them. You will find the maximum quality, the maximum commitment, the maximum engagement and connection if we're able to also be poetic. Like the Stoics and the authors of the Bible were once poetic, not just being willing to fight, but also being willing to see the beauty in what's around us and using that as a platform to push forward and to continue to be strong.
Dangerous caught my attention because you're saying men all have that, but you say be the most dangerous man in the room, right? Now that some people are going to feel threatened by that, right? But what do you mean by it?
I'm okay with them being threatened by it. It is uncomfortable to be met with somebody who is bold and dangerous and strong and scary, especially in a very weak and a feminized world. And so I'm quite comfortable with that. But the only way to stop, for instance, bad guys with guns is good guys with guns. That's how all the active killer events are stopped. And so you want dangerous men amongst you. But the thing is dangerous men aren't dangerous to the good people. My kids don't fear me at all, nor does my wife or anyone that knows me. But I think the Taliban does. And that's an important distinction. Let us be dangerous as men. We're supposed to be.
In this book, John Lovell also covers like 5 ways that you can engage more successfully. Maybe it's 8, but I've recommended it to my father-in-law. I've recommended it to men who are in the generations that have come before us because it is really a classic and traditional way to be a better man. And I appreciate so much that the instructions are simple. Unlike 12 Rules for Life, it is much more tangible and given into some of his stories about being in the military, as well as what it was like to raise a young family while he was in active duty, and then what it was like to harden his household and his country when he came back from that service. Those practical ways are actually applicable, and that's why I recommend it highly in
Tell
therapy.
you something. Without strength, your goodness is worthless. A man who poses no threat to the enemy is not a virtue to the Lord. He's a liability. And if that stings, good, it should. Do you really think evil backs down just because a man loves God? No, It doesn't back down just because you sing worship songs on Sunday. It laughs at men who talk about love, but lack the guts to defend it.
Culture wants men to believe they have two options, either to be brutish or destructive, or soft and compliant. The Warrior Poet Way rejects that. It calls us to balance power with love, strength with humility, and conviction with mercy. That's the kind of man who cannot be managed into decline.
Evil thrives where men stay passive. The enemy longs for a faith filled with such men, obedient yet harmless, devoted yet silent. Because without strength, even devotion loses weight.
The liberal world order wants you to be meek and mushy so that they can push whatever radicalism that they want onto a society full of men that are unprepared to deal with the stress of fighting back. This book is a good beginning to how to engage with that fight, and I hope to do the same for you. If this channel can benefit you at all, or if you want to hear from a common sense therapist, reach out to me in the email on the screen or in the show notes, and I hope to God that I can help you guys be a warrior and a poet. Let's do it together.